A few weeks before Wimbledon, Nick Kyrgios revealed that he considered himself to be among the top 5 grass court players in the world. Now, most people laughed at him. Not us, though. We've known. But he stunned the world when he made it to the final of the tournament, where he ultimately lost to Novak Djokovic. And recently, he's made a surprising confession about that game. In this video, we're going to tell you all about it. First up, Nick Kyrgios' surprising confession. It's been a couple of weeks since Wimbledon ended, but we haven't stopped thinking about it. And as it turns out, neither has Nick Kyrgios. And to be fair, this makes more sense. In a recent interview, the Aussie stated that perhaps losing that final was a blessing in disguise for him, as it probably extended his tennis career. Confused? Let us tell you why. He revealed that if he had managed to beat Noel and won his first Grand Slam at Wimbledon, he might have just stopped playing tennis. He also said that his motivation to keep competing might have left with that win. Nick said that every tennis player who picks up a racket wants to win Wimbledon. After all, it's the biggest title in tennis. And really, it doesn't get any better than that. According to him, if he had won the championship, he would have struggled with motivation and wouldn't have anything left to prove as a tennis player. Alright, maybe that makes some sense, but maybe you would have enjoyed it so much that you would have come back for more and more just to get that same high once again, Nick. And that would explain why Roger, Novak, and Rafa keep coming back. Moving on, Nick learns a valuable lesson. The Aussie talked about how he learned the ever-important lesson about the extraordinary mental strength needed to win a Grand Slam title after his Wimbledon final. He said that you could lose a Grand Slam in one day, but you couldn't win one. It takes so many days of doing the same thing over and over again. Nick admitted that you needed to have the mental capacity to play the game, have a day off, play again, take another day off, and yeah, you guys get it. He mentioned how there were so many different things that were out of your control during these 2 weeks, like you might be feeling sick one day, or you might be hurting mentally. He also confessed that he couldn't sleep for 2 days after Rafa pulled out ahead of their semifinal game. So Nick said he realized just how mentally strong his opponents were on tour, and this experience really opened his eyes to that and made him appreciate it. He said that you need to be a mental animal to win a Grand Slam, and now he respected Roger, Novak, and Rafa a bit more. Well, that makes sense, folks. Winning even a lone Grand Slam is no easy feat. Winning 20 or more is just simply ridiculous. How have the big three managed to do it and made it look so easy, by the way? And finally, did mental strength play a role in Nick's loss to Novak? The short answer? Absolutely. It might be the only reason the Serb won. Let's take a look back at the final. Novak was obviously the favorite to win entering the game. He had done it 6 times before that. He hadn't lost at center court in 6 years. He had a great campaign. All signs were there. Nick, on the other hand, was in his first Grand Slam final. Make no mistake, he got there because he absolutely deserved to be there, but nobody was anticipating that. All the pressure was on him. He didn't even play his semifinal. Still, as soon as the game started, the Aussie looked like he was in control. Very comfortably, he took the first set against arguably the greatest player of all time. All looked well. He was 2 sets away from the biggest honor in tennis. All he needed to do was what he had been doing all tournament. Instead, he fell apart, as he often does. Within minutes into the second set, Nick was yelling at his box. He wanted them to stand up, he wanted them to sit down, he wanted them to cheer, he wanted them to be quiet, and so on. He was screaming at himself during breaks. He argued with the umpire, and he even got a spectator kicked off the court because he claimed that they were distracting him. Maybe the pressure got to him. Maybe people were expecting too much from him. Maybe he got intimidated by the 20-time Grand Slam winner on the other side of the net. From there, it was smooth sailing for Novak Djokovic. He had done it too many times before to let go of this opportunity, and he also had to prove something after the year he'd had. Very easily, Noel took the next 3 sets and won his 7th Wimbledon title. Although Nick didn't lose because he couldn't keep up with his opponent. No, he could. In fact, he was the better player that day. We saw glimpses of it in that first set. But Noel just knew how to keep himself together better. He didn't crumble mentally in front of 50,000 people. It wasn't his first rodeo. He knew it too well, and he knew it all the way. Maybe Nick is right, and this was a blessing in disguise for him. Next time, maybe he'll know what to do, if he gets there again, of course. And that's all about Nick Kyrgios' surprising confession about his Wimbledon loss. Now, let's move on to some other related news. First up, Nick Kyrgios is under fire after his recent Instagram post. A while back, the Aussie announced that he didn't eat milk or dairy anymore. Now, many people do this for health, fitness, or other similar reasons, but Nick revealed that he was doing it solely because he didn't believe in eating animals. That's noble enough, right? Except that in his last Instagram post, he showed a video of himself dragging a shark to shore. In the video, he can be seen pulling on ropes attached to a tiny shark that's so clearly and desperately trying to get away. Jeez. Understandably, fans didn't like that one bit. Many pointed out his hypocrisy in speaking about animal rights in interviews, but still going around doing things like this, which is anything but being nice to animals. One fan commented that vegan but torturing animals? You should be ashamed of yourself. Another said that he should be mindful of what he posts because there are many younger fans that follow and idolize him. Some fans even came to his defense too and said that it was just harmless fun. Nick is yet to comment on the issue, but if you ask us, there's no defending it. Next up, Nick Kyrgios versus versus Thanasi Kokkinakis. We can all agree that these two make our favorite duo in tennis at the moment, right? They've been best friends since they were kids, and they've reached the highest of highs together as they managed to win doubles at the Australian Open earlier this year. Which one of us wouldn't want to win a Grand Slam with our bestie? Sounds like a dream to us. But what happens when they go up against each other? Well, we might find out soon. The Aussies are a potential round 2 matchup at the Atlanta Open. Nick will play Peter Kyrgios in his first round match, and Thanasi will play Andre Martin. So if both players win, they'll face each other in their next game. And whatever happens, we know it'll be one heck of a match. And lastly, Novak Djokovic's coach on his Grand Slam count prediction. Noel coach Goran Ivanisevic recently revealed that his prediction about Novak, Rafa, and Roger's Grand Slam count was coming true. He said that he always knew that both Rafa and Noel would surpass Roger's record even before he was part of the Serbs team. He talked about how 10 years ago, people wouldn't have believed you if you had said that this was going to happen, but it was finally happening. He said it came as no shock to him. As of right now, Rafa sits on top with most Grand Slam titles for men with 22 majors, whereas Noel's just one behind him at 21, while Federer's been at 20 for the last 3 years. We don't understand why the world's number 7 coach is speaking about a 40-year-old who hasn't played in over a year, and while his own player isn't even eligible to play the final Grand Slam of the year because of his refusal to get the vaccine. Don't they have bigger things to worry about? But it's alright, it makes sense. Federer is Federer. Only last month, Roger showed up at center court for a special event and got the loudest cheer of the tournament. We'd be mad too if we were winning tournaments and someone else just strolled in and took all the spotlight away for just showing up. And we all know that numbers don't show everything. Roger did it first. Everybody else is just following. That's a wrap for this video. What do you guys think about Nick's confession about his Wimbledon loss? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.